dun, dun, dun. That's the music they played anytime anything epic was happening in the movie. It was the dwarf song. It's like, dun, dun, dun. That's how you know something really awesome is about to happen.
Actually, no, she's right. That's
What's up, everybody? We are the Nola Nerd Girls doing our own review of The Hobbit. I'm Barbie.
And I'm Chelsea.
And let's get right to it. The plot. So, of course, everybody's going to be comparing it to the book and asking whether or not the new stuff added anything. First off, did it feel like 3 hours?
Actually, no, it didn't.
Yeah, because, I mean, I can remember thinking in the movie, like, this is so awesome, it's so cool. Wait a minute, a lot of stuff has already happened. And it flies by. So, kudos on that, Mr. Jackson. It really did not feel like 3 hours.
And I'm going to just point out that I had been coming off of a week of working early in the morning, so I was going to bed ridiculously early. I didn't even get tired during this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it asked off just this movie.
Right. So. Me too.
I didn't get tired. The action kept me awake. I didn't even feel a hint of sleep. Like, it was so good. I read The Hobbit way... Same
here. I haven't read it since high school.
High school. I think it was like freshman year of high school. Mm-hmm. So that was 10 years ago. Oh. Yeah. And it was a while ago. So they added a lot of stuff that that Tolkien didn't get to add, didn't get to redo for the book when he was going to rewrite it. He died before that happened, but he still made all his notes. So they added a ton of new stuff. And I found out that that's why they ended up making the movie in the 3 separate movies. Because at first I didn't know, and I thought they were only doing 2.
This one I think I'm pretty sure is the first 6 chapters. So yeah. Every detail, even the details from the appendix are in this movie. But it still flowed really well. It had a nice arc. You got beginning, middle, and end. It still worked like it would be its own story.
And I kind of feel bad for, like, all the people who are like, oh my god, it's just like Lord of the Rings, only with dwarves. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, technically The Hobbit was first.
Oh, there's a review on the internet saying, I feel like the Lord of the Rings kind of ripped off of Harry Potter. It's like, whoa. Yeah, that happened. Anyway.
I'm not even quite sure if J.K. Rowling was even alive when...
Probably not. Okay, sorry, I'm going off topic, but...
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it felt like they were escaping a lot of stuff in the movie. Like, they kept falling into one bad situation after another, and they kept escaping
from a lot of stuff. A lot of times.
And I just found it hard to believe that all of 13 dwarves, not one of them died along the way. Because in the other trilogy, I'm so used to the other trilogy, seeing people die left and right. But this one, The Hobbit was kind of written more towards kids. So... I can kind of understand that. But
that won't come till later.
Well,
those things won't come till later. And basically, if you remember the Lord of the Rings, the first one basically was a rock's fall everyone dies for.
Yeah.
For mostly everyone in the Hobbit. If they made it through the Hobbit, it was like break, Lord of the Rings. Oh.
Yeah. Ouch. Is it just me, or I don't know. Is it just me, or is that really clean looking wizard with the long white hair and the long red robe? There's something up with him. I don't know. I'm getting a bad vibe from him.
He's sus. I don't, like, he's very sus.
Okay, so there's pretty much this one scene where they're in Rivendell and they're describing the stuff that's gonna happen in the later movies. And even though I was kind of sitting there knowing in the back of my head what's going to happen in the trilogy, it was still really cool to see it all happening there, like all of them talking in the past and seeing Gandalf still kind of finding his footing as a wizard. And
I'm sorry, guys, I love sequel prequels where you already know what happens in the sequel, even if you read the prequel and the sequel. And this one, they made the prequel movie after the sequels. So it's like you already know what's going to happen, but it's still like, oh, I know what's going to happen. I know what they're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Can I also just say, though, that Thorin and his dislike for elves is like the stuff that it's meme worthy.
The elves are so pretty.
And I've seen it.
Oh my lord, the elves are so gorgeous.
And it's hilarious watching Thorin just basically get more and more pissed off throughout the movie. Like, elves! Elves! And it's like, yes, they're so pretty. Lee Pace as Thranduil is extremely gorgeous.
Yes. Isn't that supposed to be Legolas' father?
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yes.
Like, he just showed up on this majestic moose and is just watching all the chaos below him, and he's just there all stoic and pretty and angelic.
And it's like, dude, you're on the moose. Like,
hey, dude, there's a guy.
Are we talking about
his sled are being pulled by these.
Yes.
The wizard. I can't remember his name, but he had rabbits pulling his sled, and I'm like, dear Santa, you're doing it wrong. That's it.
The brown.
And, but that's cool. I guess we'll slide into the acting or whatever, because...
First, can we just talk about how pretty some of them dwarves were, too? I wasn't expecting that.
And actually, some of them are supposed to be pretty, because Thorin and Fili and Kili, they're from, like, a special race of dwarf, I think, that are supposed to be good-looking.
It's been a while.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything in this series, but...
In turn, I got to know level.
But, yeah, but they were still, despite being good-looking, they still acted like I imagined dwarves would act. They were very mischievous, all of them. They loved, their beer and their meat, and they loved to eat and drink and sing songs.
I loved it. It was great.
And, the one who had a hat that looked like ears. I can't, I'm kind of glad they didn't make us memorize all their names, because I couldn't even remember their names in the book.
It was, Thorin, and then there was Fili, Kili, Oin, Gloin, Bimber, Bomber, Bofer,
Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Sleepy,
Ballin, Dwallin, shit, what number was that? I don't care.
Okay, I'm kind of happy. That's like I'm saying. I'm happy I don't have to know every single of their names.
There you go. I got all 13.
I'll say St. Junior's. But, as far as the acting is concerned, Martin Freeman, fantastic job as Bilbo. He, is skittish and unsure, and he's, trying to take care of all the stuff in the beginning, but he still has that, he's really drawn to the adventure. And,
I like it, because, you see his uncertainty, but then you also see his excitement.
Oh, yeah.
And you see them warring with each other.
He's got a little bit of mischief in him, too. I kind of saw that in the scene with the trolls. I know everybody says that's just him being smart and just trying to stay alive, but it's a little hint of mischief right there, and that's really cool.
It was great. And then the scenes with him and Gollum in particular.
Everybody keeps saying that was their favorite scene in the book. And now people are saying that that's one of the best scenes in cinema ever. Yeah, and that Andy Serkis deserves an Oscar nomination for
Andy Serkis deserves everything.
Oh, yeah.
All the things for Andy Serkis, because he's so dynamic. Mm-hmm. And it's even though Gollum is CG, that's Andy Serkis' face.
Exactly.
That's all his
And that's the thing that I love about Gollum, is that you're torn, because you're supposed to be scared of him and not like him, or he's the enemy, but at the same time you pity him, and at the same time he's also kind of funny, and there's so many different sides of him. And how long was that scene in the movie? 5 minutes? 10 minutes maybe?
I think it was 10 going on 15.
Yeah, it's
the entirety of the thing, because
very small part of the entire movie.
It was getting interspersed with all the dwarves fighting and escaping and blah blah blah, and then you've got him and Gollum,
so all together it might have been 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
But small part, very small percentage of this 3-hour movie, and it's still probably the most memorable scene in the movie. Yeah. And it's when everybody was talking about it. It's I hope they get the riddle scene right, and I like I said, I haven't read the book in over 10 years, but from what I remember, it was at least for the movie, spot on.
Yeah.
Very good. And as far as the acting is concerned, Ian McKellen just looked like he was having such a fun time with this. You kind of see it just every once in a while in his expression. He really loves being Gandalf.
God bless Ian McKellen. I'm going to just point that out.
This bitch right here getting a picture with him over the summer.
Okay, look, I went to Comic-Con, and I was camping out overnight for Hall H on Saturday, and you ain't got to be jealous, ho. Okay, be jealous.
Yes.
Be jealous.
No issue there. So
and he loved walking through the line, and I was going to get a picture with him, but I had accidentally zoomed in my camera when I was taking pictures of him from afar. So he took the picture, and all I have is this giant, kind of blurry shot of half of Ian McKellen's face. So it was hilarious. So I told his handler, I asked him, I was like, I'm sorry, I accidentally did this. And this dude walked me behind Ian McKellen for 5 to 10 minutes. And then he was like, Ian, can you turn around? She accidentally messed up the picture. And he was completely happy to do it. Took the picture off. And I was like, God bless Ian McKellen.
So jealous. So jealous.
He's amazing.
I'm gonna pet this bird to quell my jealousy. Okay, no.
But seriously, seriously.
Okay, but you know what? He looks like a nice guy. I see that every time I watch Gandalf. Hell, I see that every time I watch Magneto.
I really do wish I had cosplayed Magneto this past summer because that was our plan and it fell through. So I'm doing Magneto this summer and she's doing Gambit.
Lady Gambit.
But I wish she was there.
Mail him a picture. All right. Last thing to talk about is just the general special effects and the cinematography.
Oh my god! Let's just point that out.
Yeah, like it's so big and amazing. We saw it in like just IMAX 3D. We didn't see it in the special. What is it for?
48.
Yeah.
What is it?
Whatever that
minute?
is. The thing that was giving people headaches and making people nauseous or something.
I didn't really want to see it in that anyway because somebody said that was probably going to be too intense, and I'm already a little bit.
I got nauseous during Cloverfield, so I don't know if I can. But
speaking of J.J. Abrams, we're gonna talk about that later.
I'm glad we saw it in 3D because they had like some good 3D shots, but it wasn't gimmicky. It was like
exactly.
Like I see lots of movies that are like just to you know.
And
like,
another thing that
3D, we have to have 3D stuff
movies.
in it.
A lot of movies aren't shot for 3D. Like a lot of them aren't.
Mm-hmm.
They're mainly 2D, and then they convert them over to 3D, and then they give you a couple. I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I hate
that. Just gives me a headache.
Like if you're gonna originally make it for 3D, that's one thing, but stop trying to capitalize on it because not everybody wants to see 3D, and 3D like a lot of the times 3D will actually hurt my eyes because me and contacts don't get along, and I have to put the 3D glasses over my glasses, so it kind of makes for a bad. Experience.
But it's the IMAX 3D for The Hobbit with the big giant landscapes and the booming music. It was fantastic.
When I tell you,
just made it sound all the more epic.
That team in particular has not lost their touch. Like it's been how long since Lord of the Rings, and it literally was like it was the very next year. Like
it was 2003 when we were sitting in the midnight screening of The Return of the King. We went to the West Bank, remember, for a friend's birthday?
Oh, yeah.
We all got tickets, and I remember they came in and said the theater sold out, but that was 2003 when we were all there for that midnight showing.
That was 9 years ago, guys.
That was 9 years ago.
They're really a banner or something like that.
But, so yeah, the cinematography was great. The special effects, I was happy with the special effects, except there was some parts where I feel like I'm in the opinion where if you don't have to use CG, don't use CG. That's just my opinion. Like, there was one part where Bilbo was falling into the pit before he meets Gollum, and he was fighting a goblin, and the whole fall down, the goblin, you can tell is CG, but then when they fall down in the pit, they're actually using an animatronic or a puppet or a person or something, but you can tell it's real. So the CG came so close to looking real, but I guess I've just been watching movies so long I can kind of tell the difference. Like the pale orc. He was like I mean
obviously
I could tell he was CG, but the rest of the orcs were real. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but it's hard to be nitpicky for this movie. But that's really the only thing that I'm bitching about.
I mean, really, all they had to do was just like beef up Sean Patrick Flannery and put him back in his powder outfit, and then powder paint and chop off his arm.
Sorry, I needed a moment.
I was thinking of that Sean Patrick Flannery.
I so did. Oh my gosh. At New Orleans Comic Con, and he's so nice.
Did you meet Norman Reedus too?
I didn't get to meet Norman. I met Norman Reedus last time, but I didn't get to talk to them for that long. It's more like just a passing hello.
Now we're even because I'm jealous as fuck of her. Because Norman Reedus is on my list.
Yeah. Well, next time he's coming back for 2014 New Orleans Comic Con. But again, we're getting off topic.
Sorry.
So
we do this all the time.
Yeah. The special effects. Other than that, fantastic. Rivendell.
Rivendell never gets old. I'm just point that out.
I know.
Every time I see Rivendell in the movie, I can rewatch these movies over and over and over again. Every time I see Rivendell, my breath gets stolen from me. I get misty-eyed because it's literally that.
And I noticed it when I was watching it. Those effects, it looked so real. Like I was watching the waterfall. It's tricky to make water, like CGI water look real. And it looked good. It looked like you could, I was waiting for it to splash me because of the 3D glasses and stuff. So that was really awesome.
Now, see, God bless New Zealand because New Zealand.
We got a minute left. Oh. Out of 10, I give this 9.5.
Solid.
9.5. Yeah.
9.5.
What did you buy it? Comes out on Blu-ray. It has to be on Blu-ray. So what'd you buy it?
Hell to the yes.
Blu-ray extended edition is gonna go next to my extended edition of the trilogy. Go see The Hobbit. It was awesome. And I think that's about it. Anything else?
No.
I'm Barbie.
Chelsea.
Go see The Hobbit. And then, because it's going to be so epic, you're going to be hearing doon, doon, doon everywhere you go. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Toodles.